Hello everybody, welcome to this webinar on data science and your master in data science at Tilburg University. First of all, I would like to ask you to turn off your camera and also mute your microphone. So my name is Janneke Jansen and I work for the Marketing Communication Department at Tilburg University. And together with a few colleagues, I will today tell you something about the different master programs that we offer at Tilburg University. So they will join in later in this presentation actually. So first of all, I'll discuss a bit about studying in the Netherlands in general and about the education system in Holland. Next, we'll move on to the four different programs actually that we offer in data science. Next, a bit more general information about Tilburg University and the locations that the programs are offered at. Next, we'll go into admission and application, very important of course. And after that, we'll have a current student who will explain about her experiences as a student in data science at the university. And at the end, we'll have a Q&A. Some of you already sent in some questions that you have for us, and we listed those on the slide already. But also, if you have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to chat them, put them in the chat box. We will answer them at the end of the presentation as well. So first of all, why would you go and study in the Netherlands? Well, the Netherlands offers a very large offer in English taught programs, both on master and on bachelor level. In total, there's now about 330 programs. Next to that, most people in the Netherlands, Dutch people, they do speak English as a second language. So I think it's about 90% of the Dutch people that does speak English. And this means you don't really need any Dutch for getting around. Of course, you can decide to learn some Dutch if you want to. We offer free language courses at the university. But if you don't want to, of course, there's no necessity. Next to that, we're very open-minded and multicultural society. We have many people from all over the world living in the Netherlands. So I'm sure you feel very welcomed as an international student. Next to that, the Netherlands offers excellent and innovative education. Now 13 of our research universities, actually all of our research universities in the Netherlands, they're listed in the top 200 of the Times World Higher Education ranking. So they're all ranked very highly worldwide. So it means actually all the research universities are in the top 1% of universities worldwide. We also offer value for money. So for these higher rankings, we offer a relatively low tuition fee. We'll discuss that later in the presentation as well. About specific amounts. And lastly, the Netherlands does offer many opportunities for an international career. We, of course, have very many big multinationals that are from Holland, Unilever, Philips, for example. And actually, also as a non-EU student, if you don't have a European passport, you're allowed with a third-year visa to stay for 1 more year and work in the Netherlands. So about rankings, I already told you a bit, the research universities are in the top 200. And actually, this makes us the highest ranked country after the US and the UK. Next to that, we're very typical of the Dutch educations that we're very international community and classroom. So that means not only your fellow classmates will be international, but actually your professors, staff members from the university. It's a very international hub you'll be part of. Next to that, the Dutch education is very interactive. This means that in class, you're not expected just to sit back and listen to the professor, but really actively participate in discussions, challenge what the professor is saying, and be actively involved in classes. Next to that, it's very personal. You can approach the professor, for example, after your studies, even sometimes go to their offices, so you can really build personal relationships as well. Last but not least, we also expect you to be proactive as a student and have an independent study attitude. So a little bit about Dutch culture, because of course we do all speak English, our programs are in English, but still, of course, the Netherlands has its own culture. And this is one example of a typical Dutch holiday, which is King's Day, which celebrates the birthday of our king. Everybody dressed up in orange. It's really fun. Just for you to give an idea that you also be part of a new complete culture while studying in the Netherlands. So about Tilburg, where are we located? We're actually the 6th largest city in the Netherlands. Now the Netherlands is not very big, as you might know. We have about 17 million people living there, but from north to south, it's about 2-3 hours well, 3-4 hours, and from east to west about 2 hours. So we're not a very big country. Tilburg has about 200,000 people living there, of which actually about 30,000 is a student. So that means over 1 out of 8 students, people in the city is actually a student. So you can really imagine how much of the life in the cities evolves around students. Also, you can see in the image, we're very close to different cities. So it's also a really nice opportunity for you to travel to different cities, even different countries. Belgium's very close by, but also Eindhoven has an airport. That's about 20 minutes by train, so it's really easy to fly around Europe as well. As you can see, we're very close to Den Bosch, Eindhoven, Breda, all about 20 minutes away, so nothing's really far in Holland actually. So then about your opportunities for a master's in data science. I'll first give you a quick summary of the programs that we offer. So first of all, the Master in Business Analytics and Operations Research. This one really focuses on the optimization of different problems that companies have, such as in supply chain, scheduling, these types of things. Then we have a program focusing on marketing analytics. And as you can maybe guess, this program uses big data for marketing decisions. Then the Data Science Entrepreneurship Master. This master focuses on developing business opportunities, and is actually a combined master of Eindhoven, the Technical University, and Tilburg University, which is more oriented toward business and social sciences, for example. And last, we have the Data Science Business and Governance program. This focuses on the use of data science to improve policy and decision making. So we'll now go through the programs one by one, give a bit more in-depth information. And also my other colleagues will explain a bit about the programs which are organized at different faculties actually. So first of all, the Business Analytics and Operations Research Master. It's good to know that really the overall thought of the master is improving society by math and data. How we do this is 3 ways actually. First of all, we want to equip you with the knowledge of theory and methods to solve decision problems. And these decision problems can be such as the optimal shift planning of air traffic controllers, which is quite complicated, as you can imagine, because people can only work for a certain time. There's only a certain amount of people. It's a very tricky thing to optimize this. So this is just one example. Also the optimal flood protection. So how high should dikes be to not let the water flow all over the Netherlands? These types of things. And of course, you need to know these knowledge and theory, but also the hard skills. So these real life problems, how do we translate them into a mathematical model and use software? And last, you need soft skills, of course. It means like if you find solutions to these problems, optimizations, you also need to be able to translate this to your manager, make sure the message is clear and these changes will be implemented. So a little bit about the courses. It's actually a 1-year program. You can either start in September or in February. And you see the courses listed on the presentation. There's 5 core courses, there's 2 electives, and there's actually more electives than are listed now on the screen because it's a very long list actually. So you have a bit of choice option there. And it's good to know about this program that you should have a very quantitative background to apply. So a solid background in mathematics and probability theory is required. Then final last thing, nice thing about this program is the Bauer Mastermind, where speakers from company actually come into the classroom and you solve real issues for these companies. You discuss trends in business analytics and data science. So you really get a feel as well with actual companies and the business world. The marketing analytics, as I already told you a bit, this is mostly based on using big data to use for marketing. And of course, you need to be able to conduct researches, and you can use all this big data, for example, targeting your customers, predicting their behavior, but also analyzing their behavior afterwards. So in the end, it's all about making informed marketing decisions on relevant big data. So about the courses that we offer, there's actually a lot of choice in this master. You see some marketing analytics courses listed on the slide, but actually there's a whole lot more, and you can really customize your own program. You do also need to take one marketing management course, as you see as well, and of course master thesis. Nice thing about these programs that on top of the program you can actually do a course, well, a project in the Google Online Marketing Challenge or the L'Oreal Brainstorm Challenge, where you compete with other teams from all over the world to solve real business issues. And actually, we're doing really well in these. Last year, for example, our team from, a team from Tilburg University got first of the Netherlands in the Google Online Marketing Challenge. So that's super nice. And just very short about the background you should think of for this program is business administration, some courses in marketing, and research methods. I think we'll now move on to my colleague, Nigel Klaus. He will be in a different screen very soon, so let's wait for him.
Hello, everybody. I hope you can all hear me. This is, of course, very modern because I'm calling in from the Bosch. I'm Nigel Klaus. I am the program coordinator of the Joint Master course in Data Science and Entrepreneurship. And as Janneke already indicated, this is a joint master of both Tilburg University and the Technical University of Eindhoven, which is actually not situated on the Tilburg University campus, but it's hosted in an old monastery in Den Bosch. I will tell you a bit more in a couple of slides later. I'm going to tell you a bit more about this program. This is a 2-year program which stands for 120 ECTS. So students are required to obtain 120 ECTS. And the focus of this program is on business opportunities and on the exploitation of data science to eventually create value. And this value can be or business value, so economic value, but it can also be societal value. For example, you could come up with some new products or services or applications for the health industry or for agriculture, or maybe to apply for smart cities. Another example is, for example, for health industry. I already mentioned that, sorry. So as you can notice from these examples, the value creation could be for many sorts of problems within society. So let's go to the next slide, monitor, please. I cannot do it. Thank you very much. So what you see here is the overview of the curriculum. It's a lot of information at once, so I will try to guide you through it. So as you can see, the colors refer to the value chain you have just seen on the previous slide, and they refer to, I forgot to tell you something about the value chain. Sorry, moderator, can we go back to the first slide? Thank you very much. This is not very inconvenient. So what we use for the data science and entrepreneurship course is a value chain. And actually you start with the raw data, and using data mining and data visualization techniques and methods you learn within the course, you will have usable data sets for a certain goal. And eventually and ideally, you want to create value, before mentioned. And this entire process is supported by some courses in legal frameworks such as IP law, but also in ethical courses on ethical, because we think it's very important for our students to also know what can or what cannot be done with available data sets. So as you can see here in the curriculum, the colors refer to the certain elements of this value chain. And there are some mandatory courses you have to do within this program. But as you can see as well in the third and in the in the second and in the third semester, you have the option to choose some electives. So you can or choose to do the more, let's say, soft courses, so the entrepreneurial competences, or you can choose to do the more technical courses. So this depends on what knowledge you have gained already in your previous background. But through these electives, you can, let's say, tailor-make your program a bit more relevant to your previous background. And what's also good to highlight is the courses you see which come back every semester, and that's the abbreviation DEIA, which stands for Data Entrepreneurship in Action. And in these courses, you actually go work in a group, and together with an external company who provides you a data set, you're gonna try to solve a problem. And each and every course in this series of 3 courses will zoom in on elements within the data creation, in the value creation process. So the first one might zoom in a bit more on creating businesses based on the data sets you have. The second one might zoom in more on a customer problem, and together with your group, of course, with the company and with other stakeholders, you're trying to find a new solution or a new product for this problem. And the third one might focus more on the entire process. And these series will all come back into your final project you have to do in your 4th semester, which is called the master thesis. This is a 30 ECTS master thesis. And as you can see, the 4th semester is solely devoted for this master thesis. So in a nutshell, this program is really about educating people who are able to create new businesses and new products, new services with the data available. On my last slide, you see what the campus in Den Bosch looks like. It's hosted in an old monastery where, fun fact, where nuns used to be educated, and now the purpose is educational, where we try to educate you, the new data entrepreneurships. And what you can also see is a picture of the old chapel, where actually classes will also be given. And on the bottom, you can see 2 pictures of our JET room, as which we call it, where students, supporting staff, educators, but also people from companies like startups and incubators who will actually be on our campus in Den Bosch can have lunch together and discuss and share experience, of course. Good to stress out again is that this 2-year master program in data science and entrepreneurship will not be given in Tilburg, will actually be hosted at the Marienburg campus in Den Bosch. I guess this is what I can tell you in the time given to me about this unique joint master, and I'm looking forward to welcome you soon in Den Bosch. Thank you for your time, and back to the moderator.
Hello, my name is Laura, and I will tell you more about the last program in data science we offer at Tilburg University, which is Data Science, Business and Governance. So Data Science, Business and Governance is a 1-year master's program. And we do not only study techniques for data mining, pattern recognition, visualization, and process analytics, but we really prepare you to be like a linking pin between programmers and higher management in organizations. Therefore, we also include courses in, for example, legal aspects of big data, ethical, and also some business courses, because you really need to understand the business where you prepare also your data for. Data Science, Business and Governance is a 1-year master's program, a track within our master's program in Communication and Information Sciences. There are 4 compulsory courses, 2 elective courses, 2 research skills modules, and a master thesis. So the master thesis is combined with the course Data in Action. So that means that the master thesis will be written as an assignment for a company. So you will do a research project in a company, and we help you also to find this place. I brought a current student of data science with me. Her name is Alexia. Alexia, would you like please come here? So can you maybe tell a little bit more about what is your favorite course in data science, business and governance?
Okay, hi, I'll just introduce myself, Alexia. I'm doing, data science and business and governance. Choosing my favorite course is a difficult one because I have 2 that I really enjoy at the moment, which are analytics for business and governance and then data processing. So data processing is sort of about gaining the skills for the programming language Python, which is really interesting. It's sort of a different way of thinking about problem solving. That's why I really enjoy that. But I also like analytics for business and governance because it's kind of close to my heart in terms of where I want to go in the future in terms of career path, because I'm quite interested in sort of problem solving and decision making for businesses and business insights. So I think that's kind of the main reasons why I enjoy those two programs.
Yeah. And there's 2 programming courses you will learn, right?
Yes, so
it's Python and
statistical programming with R, which will be in my next block.
Okay.
But there's also the option of doing advanced data processing, which I'll also be doing, but that's an extra sort of course added onto your elective courses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
All right.
Alexia. So at the end of the presentation, Alexia will stay with us, and if you have some questions for Alexia, she will be more than happy to answer you based on her own experience with this program and about studying at Tilburg University. So let me tell you a bit more. This is an overview of the different programs of data science that we offer at the university. As you see, all the programs are 1 year except for data science and entrepreneurship. The locations are Tilburg University, and data science and entrepreneurship is located in Den Bosch. There are 2 intakes for all the Tilburg University data science programs. Data science and entrepreneurship has only 1 intake moment. And also the admission requirements are pretty different for each data science program. So as you see, for business analytics and operations research, a very quantitative bachelor is required with a very strong background in mathematics and probability theory. So that can either be like econometrics bachelor, related bachelor programs. In marketing analytics, a bachelor of business administration, economics, marketing or research methods those people can apply for that master program. For data science and entrepreneurship, it's a little bit more technical skills are needed in the bachelor. Any technical bachelor in mathematics, computer science or econometrics is required. Business and governance, the entry requirements are a little bit more softer skills for communication, computer science, business studies, business administration, psychology and economics are required. So the focus is also a bit different for each of the programs, and the career path are also slightly different for the different directions in the data science programs that we offer. So let me tell you more about Tilburg University. Tilburg University was founded in 1927 as a business school. At this moment, Tilburg University has not only a business school, but we also have a law school, we have social behavioral sciences, we have a school of communication, culture, philosophy and humanities, theology and data science, of course. So in total, the Tilburg University hosts about 13,000 students. 1,500 are international students of 102 different nationalities. Some pictures of our campus. So as you see, like on the right upper picture, this is the Tilburg University campus map. As you see, it's very green. Right after the campus, we have a forest, so people go there for jogging or picnicking or lunch or barbecue. So it's very nice environment to study. Well, we have 102 different nationalities on our campus. This is an overview of the top nationalities. So we have a lot of students from Colombia, from Turkey, Romania, Bulgaria, Greece, Germany, China, Indonesia. Tilburg University scoring very good also in international rankings. Times Higher Education ranking, my colleague Janneke already mentioned it before. So Tilburg University overall is within the top 200, like every other research university in the Netherlands. We score 11th in economics and business, 65 in social sciences, and also in Dutch rankings we score very well. Recently we have been awarded being the best general university according to a Dutch ranking, Keuzegidsmasters of 2017, and already since 2007 in another Dutch ranking, Elsevier Higher Education Review, we are the best specialist university in the Netherlands. Here you can see the different tuition fees and cost of living. So for each data science program, there's also a different tuition fee. We also offer some scholarships, and this is a link where you can find more information about our scholarships. And the estimated cost of living in the Netherlands is approximately 800 euros a month. But this 800 euros a month includes everything. So it also includes your food, your accommodation, your insurance, your travel expenses. So, well, later on, if you have questions about tuition fees, please ask us during the question Q&A. Admission requirements, very important. Well, the diploma required is a bachelor's degree in a relevant field. Well, I already showed you that a relevant field differs for each of the data science programs. What is the language, English language proficiency is the same for every program in Tilburg and also in Den Bosch. So we need an academic IELTS with an overall score of 6.5, and it's allowed to have 6.0 on parts. But 6.5 should be the overall. So if you do not pass 6.5, then you please retake the IELTS, because we cannot accept IELTS less than 6.5. TOEFL internet-based score is 90, and we also accept the Cambridge certificate. Then additional requirements for the business analytics and operations research and for marketing analytics is a GRE or GMAT test. So this is not required for data science and entrepreneurship, and also not required for data science, business and governance. Application deadlines is also for all programs the same. The deadlines for European students is the 1st of July. The application deadline for non-European students is the 1st of April. And for the second intake, which starts in end of January, beginning of February, the deadlines for European students are 1st of December, non-European students 1st of October. Then, very important is career perspectives. Most of our students already graduating from one of our data science programs already found a job, like within a month or even already during writing their master's thesis. As you see in the table, you can see that already since I think March 2016, there is quite a stable number of vacancies throughout the Netherlands for data science graduates. In the map of Tilburg, map of the Netherlands, you see a lot of like yellow spots, and all those yellow spots are kind of like big companies that offer many positions for data scientists. And in general, students find a job really, really fast. This career perspective, this job dashboard, we monitor this for all our students studying one of our data science programs. So this data is also available for you as a student while studying in Tilburg or in Den Bosch. So Alexia, would you like to say more about why you chose to study in Tilburg University?
Hello, back again. I think the main thing that drew me to Tilburg University was the course. I had sort of been researching data science programs in Europe, and I came across the course at Tilburg, and I was really drawn to the course. I really wanted to sort of get into the programming courses that were available and also the business analytic courses. So that sort of pushed my sort of main desire to come to Tilburg. But also another part of that was wanting a new adventure. I wanted to study abroad. I wanted to experience a new culture, a new environment, and get sort of a different experience in another country. So I think those are the two main factors as to why I chose Tilburg. I sort of enjoyed my first few days as I arrived in Tilburg.
Did you arrive on the arrival day?
I did. I arrived on the arrival days, which I think is actually very important. I think if you're coming to Tilburg, you have to really arrive on those days. It sort of lets you get to grips with sort of the university, the town that you're going to be living in. You set up a bank account, you get a bike. So all those sort of bits that you need to set yourself up in Tilburg as a student for the sort of coming months as you study. So yeah, I think that was definitely a very important part of sort of introducing myself into the university and the country. And as part of sort of the arrival period, I was also part of Top Week, which is offered to all students at Tilburg University when they first start, so whether you're a bachelor student or a master student. And it's organised by current students at the university who sort of organise events, lunches, basically everything to get you sort of into the culture in the country and sort of experience Tilburg, the student life, the city centre, and also to make new friends. In the Top Week is where I met sort of some of my closest friends now, because they sort of put you together with people in the same sort of age group as you or on the same masters as you, so you can really find it's a really good way to bond with people before you actually start studying. So yeah, I really enjoyed my time during Top Week. It was a full-on 5 days, but I managed to get through it.
What was your favourite part?
My favourite part definitely had to be the Thursday on the pub crawl. We got to experience all the different bars and pubs in Tilburg, and yeah, it was a good night.
Okay. Oh, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
Q&A, right? I think so. Yes, it's Q&A time.
Yes, so we already did list some questions, as you see on the screen.
So yeah, you can keep asking questions. I already saw some coming by, and some might be a bit specific. We might skip very specific questions. You can always, like, if more questions come up, you can always send them to question@tilburguniversity.edu, as you see listed on the right. So I'll start. Are there possibilities for related extracurricular activities? Well, in general, there's about 60 student organizations in Tilburg, so it's really also a student city because of that. And some of these are of course related to the program, because like in general, I know at least for the marketing analytics and business analytics masters, there's specific study associations for these programs, and they also organize activities related to the program. It might be similar for you.
For data science, yes,
Yeah,
there's
it's a student organization.
Yeah, that looks after data science as well.
Yeah. So in general, this is definitely possible, and either like related to the program or not related to the program. Lots of sports associations, I think like 20 or something. So there's lots to do for you on top of the program as well. So next,
EBT business days.
Yeah, for example, like these big business events. Actually, I think one is coming up very soon, where lots of big multinationals, they come to campus, and these events are actually organized by students. And as a student, you can take part in this, you can have lunch with these companies, you can work on a case with them, and also kind of like present yourself to these companies as a preparation for the job market, actually.
So
second question.
The program starts in February. Yes, 3 programs are starting in February, except for data science and entrepreneurship. They only have 1 intake, and that's in September. Can the Tilburg scholarship and Holland scholarship be combined? Well, that depends on the different data science programs. Janneke, can you say something about that?
If they can be combined?
Yeah. For data science, business and governance, the only scholarships that can be combined are the Holland scholarship and the Orange Tulip scholarship. And for
for business analytics and operations research and marketing analytics, the Holland scholarship cannot be combined with any other scholarship except for the partner scholarship. And the partner scholarship is actually for students who graduate from partner universities of the faculty. They get a waiver actually for the GOE test or the GMAT test. And if you're from a non-EU country, you get a tuition fee waiver of €3,500. So that's a waiver, and that's the only thing that can be combined with the Holland scholarship or any other scholarship actually.
How are the scholarships awarded, and what percentage of the tuition fee does it cover? The scholarships are awarded on an individual basis, of course. So therefore, while applying for the program, at the same time you need to apply for the scholarship as well. So if European students want to apply for the scholarships, please apply before the 1st of April, because that is the scholarship deadline for Tilburg University scholarships.
Actually, there's a few also that have a deadline of 1st of March, but it's specifically for the Faculty of Economics and Management. And also there's a few scholarships only that cover the full tuition fee. These are €10,000. There's for 3 of them available actually for the marketing analytics and business analytics program. And also possibly for other programs. So that's kind of divided. And how they are awarded, this also depends. There's some scholarships that are merit-based and some are need-based combined with merit. So it depends per scholarship really. Also like some deadlines per scholarship can be different. So really check the information about the scholarship and how to apply, because this might differ also actually, application procedures.
Yeah. So the question, I finished my undergraduate in June. So do I qualify to apply for the 2017 intake? Well, this is a question that is asked us a lot. And you're certainly not the only one that's graduating in the summer from the bachelor and already want to apply for masters. So of course, it is possible already to submit your application, and so without your diploma, as soon as we evaluated this application without a diploma, you can be admitted to the program. You will first be like conditionally admitted. Once you send your diploma, you can be fully admitted to the program. And I think this applies for like all the programs in data science.
Yes, regarding IELTS and GMAT, should I take these tests for April 1st Also, is it possible to be exempted for taking these tests? Well, if you should take it before April 1st, of course, depends on your background. If you're a non-EU student, yes, you should take it before April 1st because that's the deadline for application. And if you're an EU student, have an EU passport, you can apply for July 1st. So it depends on your nationality. And so yes, we really need to have these tests before the deadline. Like, it's difficult to evaluate your package after the deadline's been passed. So yes, before the deadline. Also, is it possible to exempt it for these tests? As I said before, for GMAT and GRE, there is a few exemptions for students from partner universities, and those are listed on the website. I can give you the link later in the chat, actually, if you want to have a look. But this is the only possibility, really. For IELTS, I think there's only exemption possible if you, for example, completed a full bachelor in the UK, for example, so in a native English country. There's a specific list for that. So there is some possibilities. But that's also quite an individual case, probably. So we'll go to the questions in the chat.
Is there also a question for Alexia, maybe? Can you check?
This is the first question.
What is the relationship between big data and data science? Maybe Alexia can answer this one. Yes.
Okay, so big data is having sort of a large amount of data that you can't necessarily analyze and process on a normal computer using sort of the normal memory that you might have. And the link between that and data science is you want to be able to analyze sort of large data sets. That's sort of how business is evolving these days. That's how most businesses make their sort of decisions. So the link is using data science techniques, so programming techniques to find ways to analyze your data in a sort of efficient and quick way, which you wouldn't be able to do sort of on a normal computer or with sort of normal memory. Yeah.
Thank you. I think this is a question for you, Laura.
Hello. There's a question for me. I will read out the question loud. Hello, I heard that big data sector, mainly people with strong math or engineering background, are employed. Is it true? How can graduates from Master Data Science, Business and Governance compete with them on the job market? I have an economic education. Okay, well, I think it's a very good question. But in the data science sector, many different jobs are available. So not only for students that are very strong in analytics. Of course, these jobs are there too, but there's also many people needed that can translate the needs for the business the techniques, to translate the techniques into new businesses, to be like the linking pin between the managers and the data scientists. So business and governance master program is more focused on the softer skills and really be the linking pin between programmers and the business. Is that true, Alexia?
Yeah, but I would also add that even having a strong sort of mathematical background, you might not have the programming skills or the data collection or data mining skills. So I think the data science program gives you those skills that put you sort of ahead of somebody who comes from a mathematical background. At least you already have experience sort of handling data, knowing what to do with the data already, as opposed to somebody learning that on the job.
I see Nigel already answered some questions in the chat about data science entrepreneurship. So we'll move on to next question for me, actually. If I had been doing marketing for over 7 years, would I still be required to do a GMAT? Yes, we cannot exempt students based on work experience or anything. As I said before, only students from partner universities can be exempted. I think you might have covered this question already.
Yeah, I think so too. There's another question about the career perspectives of business and governance. career perspectives are pretty good, and there's a lot of vacancies. Is it also for the soft direction, especially for business governance track, instead just for the diehard computer? Yes, definitely, because I think even the soft skills, to find people that really can do that, because it's really not easy to be a linking pin. The career perspectives are also really good. You can imagine that every company sooner or later is going to use big data. So every business needs linking pins between programmers and business developments.
Okay. Is there a specific student association for the data science, business and governance, or is it Flow?
It is Flow.
It is Flow. There isn't a specific one just for data science. Yeah, it's for the whole communications department, but data science is involved in that as well.
For now.
Yeah.
What are the main differences between this specific master and typical econometric masters? This specific master, I think you might mean the business analytics and operations research master. This is actually part of the econometrics department, and there's actually two other masters related to it: econometrics and mathematical economics, and quantitative finance actuarial science. And actually they have a lot in common. The business analytics focus a bit more on businesses and also use a bit more optimization techniques. And if you really want a more in-depth answer into that, please send your question to the question email address, because then I can highlight for you any other specific differences in courses, for example. There's also some overlap, of course. Again, I think you've... Yeah, there was a question to answer the question about career perspective for business and government, but I think... Do you think you've covered that enough?
I think so.
Okay. This is also a question for Nigel. This is just Nigel. Are we talking? Another question for Master's Data Science Entrepreneurship. Those will leave to Nigel for the chat. That's easiest for now. Regarding the tests, do you need to take these as a student of Tilburg University? So if you're a current student and want to apply to the program, actually the procedure is different for students who have a Dutch diploma versus an international non-Dutch diploma. And if you already obtained a bachelor at Tilburg University, you do not need to take the GMAT test, for example. And you probably, if you're an international student, you've already taken the IELTS. And as a Dutch student, you do not need to take this. Let me see. I think that answers the questions, right? Yes. We're going to test. Data and entrepreneurship. One moment.
We're reading a long question of Sid from India.
I don't really understand the first question, so you might better email this to us. The first question from Siddharth. And then the second one, I happened to write my IELTS a few weeks ago and got an overall 6.5, with reading just below 6.0. Just below 6.0 is unfortunately not 6. So no, well, you could apply with that score, but it's not going to be accepted. So you will need to retake the test, actually.
Yeah. Actually, Sid, hello, nice to meet you, Sid from India. At this moment, there is also a student from India in our Data Science, Business and Governance program. If you would like, please send me an email. Then I can give you the contact details of the student, and then you can chat with her or email with her and listen to her experiences if you like.
Yeah, and this is actually possible for most programs. If you want to get in touch with a current student or just a student at the university from your own country, you can let us know, and we can see we have a number of student ambassadors who are happy to share their experiences. So that kind of applies for everybody.
Yeah.
So
So if you have more questions for Alexia, for example, please let us know as well, because Alexia is also also would like to share her experiences with you in email contact.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
All right. I wonder if one can apply for more than one program. I see Nigel already answered the question, but maybe good for everybody to know. You can apply up to 3 programs in your application at the same time. Good question. What is the average GRE or GMAT score to get accepted? For GMAT, students get accepted on average score 600. So that's an average. There's no strict minimum, because we will always base your admission based on your complete application package. So we also take into account your grades, your English test, everything together will make a decision. And also, if we feel there's a lack of background, for example, but it's still not super much, we might offer you the possibility for a pre-master. I believe this is possible now for all the programs at Tilburg University. I'm not completely sure for the entrepreneurship one, but I think they'll have it in the future. So sometimes you can do a 6-month pre-master while you have 5 courses to make up for the difference.
Yeah, actually, Alexia did a pre-master too. Can you maybe say something more about the pre-master of data science, business and governance?
Yes, so I came from a very different background. I did a bachelor's in biochemistry, so it's quite different from data science. So I was sort of admitted onto the pre-master's program, and that sort of prepared me actually a great deal for the masters. We had to do a statistics module, a sort of methodology module about research, another module two modules on research, and then an optional module. Mine was psychology of language. And it was sort of just like a quick flash bit of information to get you prepared for the masters, especially if you're someone from a different background from the actual masters, or if you're someone who's taken time out of university. It sort of helps you get back into the routine of studying. And I think, it's not something that to be discouraged by, I would say. It's definitely helped me and sort of made it easier for me to actually integrate into the masters seamlessly. So I would say, don't be discouraged if that's what happens.
Thank you.
All right. I'll actually answer the rest of the question because I only explained about GMAT. I'll add a bit to that actually. We mainly look at your quantitative score on the GMAT. We prefer that to be above 75%. Then for the GRE test, we mainly look at the quantitative part as well. And actually for the business analytics programs, we prefer it to be a bit over 75%, maybe even like 80% at least, because you need to be very strong on the quantitative background. Let me see, the entrepreneurship. I'm not sure if this question is it's about Python and R. So maybe...
I had a question regarding programming in Python or R for that matter. If you already have extensive knowledge in programming in Python, already took a more extensive version of data processing course in my bachelor at Tilburg University. So my question basically is it possible to expand your knowledge if you already know quite a bit about programming? Can you answer that?
I have only started the data processing course, which is sort of the introduction into Python at the moment, but there is an advanced data processing course, so I think you would have to sort of look at that course online in the study guide and see if that sort of adds anything to your knowledge already or not. I'm not sure.
Because it's elective, right?
Yeah,
so there is some room for elective courses, so if you already have the basic knowledge, they also offer an advanced course to meet the students'
interest and needs, and also sort of going off career path. Python is very, very important for a lot of companies, so they've added the elective for advanced data processing for people who want to really sort of focus in that area. So I would say look at the course content and see if there is anything there that you don't already know that would be of use.
Okay.
Could you just repeat the tuition fee for the business and governance course? The tuition fee, I will go back to the slide for the tuition fees. Yes. So business and governance is 11,000 per year for non-European students, for Dutch students, and for other European students it's 2,006 per year. And it's only 1 year, of course. I took the course Menno is talking about.
That's the previous question.
Yeah. Yes. As well, and I'm wondering, do you have to take the same course again, or can you take a replacement course?
No. So do you still need to take the same course if you know the basics?
If you know the basics, I'm sure you're not going to have to do the same course again. You would probably get a different elective, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't think they would make you do the same.
It's the course by Peter Spronk, right?
Well, it might have been. We have a different lecturer at the moment. It's a woman, but it might have been done by Peter in the semester just gone.
Yeah.
So I'm not entirely sure about that one.
Yeah, and what's the name of the woman?
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Oh. It's something we can find out for you, not at the moment really, but if you do repeat that question to the question email address, we're happy to find out if it's possible, because I can understand it's very important if you already have some knowledge, you want to deepen that knowledge, not just repeat the same. Yes, so that was the last question actually for now. Yes, I'm not sure if there's any more, but feel free to ask. Let me see. No, that's the last slide already. That is for Nigel, I think. Can you say something about the nationalities in the data science entrepreneurship track? I think Nigel will answer this via the chat. I think for now we'll turn off the camera and microphone, but we'll stay on the chat for a little bit. So if any questions do come up, we'll be able to answer them via chat. I don't know if you have anything to add that we want to share as last moment.
No, I think
All right. Then we'll close off now. Thank you all for listening and participating, asking your questions. I hope it was helpful. And still, if you do have any questions left, we'll share the email address also in the chat, so it's very easy for you to contact us, and we can answer more of your questions. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.